Hello. So, my little thought I wanted to share is just because I make pain look good doesn't mean it stops hurting. And I wanted to share this because I don't think it's just me. Um, I've had chronic pain issues like as far back as I can remember. And I've also had issues with like unidentified learning disabilities and communicational issues and yada, yada, yada that you can't see. They won't give me a label that helps people to understand that quickly. So, but I have also been in workplaces for kind of, a long time where the expectations kind of go beyond my reasonable limitations. And basically, I would have to be saying, I can't all the time. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do this, which um, if you've never been in that position, is a really crappy position to be in. It really, really, really sucks. And especially when you're giving people an accurate evaluation of yourself and your abilities, and the way they hear it is that you're being negative or lazy or complaining. And so that provides a peer pressure or some kind of pressure to just suck it up and do it, even though you know it's not okay for you. And I think that what happens is with people where it's not readily apparent what's going on with them, the level of pain they're in, the even cognitive difficulty that they're having, um, we just assume and push things on them, push these on, we escalate a position or an expectation to a point that not everybody can meet it. And in many cases, if the organizational system was in play properly, that wouldn't be necessary. But the thing I think about it that's kind of important is for me, I realized there was a lot of things that were over the limit that I would do because I didn't want to be negative, or I didn't want to be the, person saying I can't again. And but what that does is I realized it when somebody else was in a workplace with me and was struggling with something that I had been struggling with for a long time and dealing with. And using up my mental strength and my willpower to deal with an issue that shouldn't have existed, and not saying anything because I didn't want to be negative. And I realized that this person who was starting, who was even more insecure and was struggling with the same problem, that I put them in the position of having to be a person to speak up about something that was a problem. And I realized that when I couldn't find the strength to speak up on my own behalf, when I understood that there were people coming after me, that it would be even harder for them to speak up, if I spoke up first, it would maybe make a change, and then that person wouldn't have to go through it. Or if nothing else, when that person speaks up also, they're not the only one saying, I can't do this. And it made me realize how many times I've said, okay, and yes, I'll do these things in the name of being positive, that really is not realistic, and it's definitely not sustainable. And those kind of things actually change a workplace into a place that is not sustainable, and it's not okay for people. And I just wanted to throw that out there just to think about, because I don't have an answer exactly, other than as much as possible, if you know somebody has any kind of issue, advocate for them. It's really a challenge to be constantly having to be your own advocate. I've tried to find advocacy in a lot of places and it's failed. And sometimes the places that should be advocating for you the most are the ones that are actually working against you. And it's very difficult. If you don't deal with any of these chronic problems, understand that you don't understand. And that is the biggest piece. You don't understand. You don't have an answer. You have no idea what people are dealing with in these situations. And so just being mindful of the fact that things that are easy for a lot of people aren't easy for others. They're very difficult and they're very painful. And having to advocate for yourself in a place where everybody's trying to be positive and put a good face on things, you're constantly going to be standing out as negative. But if somebody else steps in, I had one manager that I remember working with that just made a lot of difference in my life. But who, if they knew that you had an issue, some kind of issue, they would be like, that person's not allowed to do that. That person's not allowed to do that. And they would just say it. And everybody else had to follow what they said. And I didn't have to say, I can't. And you don't understand the power of that sometimes. So I know that a lot of times we want to be positive and we want to help and understand that people who say they can't want to also, but they also know that they can't. And so can't's not a bad word. But and even if they look like they're good and healthy and it's okay, the chances are there's just more going on than you understand, and to have a little grace and understand you don't understand. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.